Hey everybody, this is Zeniff coming at you with another Raidbots tutorial. I want to talk about the gear compare function. How do we use that? How is it beneficial? What does it do for us? So in raidbots.com, again, I'm on the subscribed version, so I'm not sure if this is on the free version, but we'll go into the gear compare tool. We need to input our simulation data as always. So we'll go into the game, /simc, Control C to copy, hit OK. Go into the box, Control V to paste. It'll pull in our information for our character. This is just for one of my alternate characters. And we'll see, this is the current gear that I have set up. So how do we determine a gear compare for gear that I don't currently have? Well, that's going to be done right here in this section where you can add a piece of gear. And we can do this with many pieces of gear. We can go through a list and say, hey, we've got 5 different trinkets that I want to look at. How do we do that? Well, let's go back into the game and let's look at the dungeon journal and see what pieces of gear we want to compare. So if we go to, for example, dungeons, we really want to focus doing this in dungeons more than in raid, because you can use Droptimizer, which is another tutorial I talked about, to compare raid drops right now. That's a great tool. So dungeons is what we're really wanting to focus on. So let's just choose a random one, Freehold. Okay. So if we want to look at the loot in Freehold, and let's just say we want to compare trinkets. So let's just look at a trinket. Oh, Freehold doesn't have any trinkets. So let's go to Tal Dazar. Okay, we've got a trinket here. Increases haste. All right, so Resin's Gleaming Eye is what it's called. So we go back to Raidbots, to the gear compare tool, and if we type in Resin's Gleaming Eye is an option. We want to say determine which trinket we want to compare. So this is a 355 Dark Moon Fathoms overpowered trinket, but we'll just say, yeah, let's just compare it with, currently I've got a 405 Gronk's Primal Rage, but we want to compare it to that. So let's say we do a +10 Mythic Plus, so I get a 400 item level trinket, and we can keep our simulation data down here as always, and we'll hit compare items. It's going to run through. It's going to put that trinket, even though I don't have it in my bags, it lets me potentially compare it so that I can know, hey, is it worth me grinding that dungeon to get that upgrade? And we can see it is not an upgrade. It is 0.9% less DPS than this trinket currently. It's not worth it. Okay, great. That's how we use that tool. So then let's go back and let's say we want to compare a different piece of gear then. Go back into the game. We'll look at trinkets, because you're going to have websites that say this is your best in slot. This is definitely your best in slot. But that doesn't always mean it's your best for your character based upon what your character's, current situation, current gear is. So we'll say, sorry, I'm just looking through here just to determine, okay, this one increases my critical strike. Gore-crusted Butcher's Block. Just doing another example here. So Gore-crusted Butcher's Block. We'll say use it to compare against that. 400 item level, blah, blah, blah. Hit compare. Is this an upgrade? Now, the other piece of gear I have is 405 with a trinket or with a socket, so it's probably not. Nope. See, -1%. So, not an upgrade. And that's really how you can use this tool. It's a great tool. You can, like I said, you can set up multiple items. So let's say we have the Gore-crusted Butcher's Block, then we want to add a gear set, and we want to say also compare the Resin's Gleaming Eye, say 400 item level. So now we're going to have this compared with this, also compared with this, and between the three, what are their damage increases, decreases, which we already ran on, but that's how you can do it with multiple items, so that you can determine, hey, these are the 5 trinkets from all the dungeons, which ones are going to be the best. So we can see here, oh, I forgot to set that to 400, but less of a damage, no damage increases between these 2 trinkets. And that's really how you use the gear compare tool. It's awesome for looking at gear that you don't currently have in your bags, but that you want to potentially look at getting if you're going to grind different dungeons. You can also use it for raid items, but you can do that through Droptimizer as well. So hopefully that helps you guys, and best of luck.